Hey lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another Sims 4 speed build. It's time for another family home in San Sequoia using the brand new Sims 4 Growing Together expansion pack. So I wanted to build on this amazing lot because it's a waterfront lot and it's just spectacular. It's also relatively big, so it's perfect for what I'm trying to build here. The first build using the pack was a really typical American suburban home, like a really typical dreamy family home. But for my second build using the pack, I wanted to focus on modern architecture because we got so many new objects and a lot of them are perfect for a traditional suburban family home, but we also got some new hyper modern windows, so I just had to use them and I just wanted to create a modern family home. And while this build is very modern, I still turned it into a typical family home. There are lots of objects which are perfect for kids. There are lots of kids' rooms, a nursery, and also there will be a pool in the backyard, but I fenced it off so it's like safe and secure for the kids. I mean, there's a bridge in the front, so it's like it may be a little safety hazard, but I mean, this is The Sims after all. Luckily, nothing could happen. But for the pool, at least, I wanted to keep it realistic and I just fenced it off. So there are like two separated areas in the garden, so the kids kind of stay away from the pool if you want them to. And here at this point, I'm just working on the general shape of the house. I wanted to have a nice bridge in the front. And for this, I've used my little trick of just building a room, placing a flop piece on top. I then removed the room and I was then able to just lower the flop piece. And this way I was able to create a bridge. I've used the pool tool for this, but I'm going to use so many debug rocks from the brand new pack to kind of fence off the pool almost, because Sims will try to get into any pool, and I totally wanted to prevent this because this is supposed to be like a fountain. Unfortunately, in this game you cannot place a fountain below anything, like it's not working, so I had to use the pool tool because I have a bridge and I just couldn't build a fountain below. Sadly, I wish they would fix this. I mean, I have no idea why this is even a thing. I just wish this would be updated. So at this point, I have laid out the shape of my build, I have my pool, and I then just had a hard time to like tie everything together. And I then decided to use half walls because I was just able to apply this amazing wallpaper from the new pack. So I have a similar color for both the half wall and the walls, because if I would have used a fence, the color would have been different. I then started to place lots of trees. These are also from the new pack and they can be found in debug. And I then stumbled upon this amazing object which can be used for a bridge in debug, also part of Growing Together, and I just placed it on top of the bridge, and the color was just perfect because it's a perfect match for the wallpaper. And at this point I was really happy, and I just sometimes reach a point where I'm not really sure if I will discard a build or not. I really like to start over when I'm not happy, but at this point I was like really happy. And after placing all the trees, I also noticed that it's like such a nice contrast to have all these darker colors, also these wooden colors, and to then have so many trees and bushes around it. I just knew that this is like looking cool. I was just kind of happy. And I then started to work on the floor plan a bit, and you can here already see that the floor plan is quite complex. So this house is like really unique from the exterior, but the floor plan is as well. So you enter the house on the right side, and then there's like a little path you have to follow to enter the house on the left side. You kind of have to walk around the little fountain in the center, or you can enter the room on the right side where I've added some stairs. So the floor plan is a bit complex, but not too complex, so it still makes sense like for gameplay and everything, so it's manageable and nice. but I just wanted there to be like a indoor garden. Like there's like this little courtyard almost in the center, as you will see, because it just looks so hyper modern and complex from the outside. I just didn't want to turn this into a regular house. You can here see the courtyard and everything is connected and so open. I've used so many windows, and I eventually decided to also use some base game windows, or maybe I've used the ones from Eco Lifestyle. They are like actually super similar. It's like really hard to tell them apart. The shape is identical. I just think the ones from Eco Lifestyle have different swatches, so it doesn't really matter. However, I've also decided to use these windows, even though I really focused on the windows from Growing Together. These were like too much in some areas. They have like some details, and also they are 3 tiles wide, and these ones are smaller. So for some areas, the ones from the pack were too much. So I just wanted to have a nice combination. Also, there will be a roof terrace in this area in the background, just adding some half walls. So it's like a complex build, but it still totally makes sense for family gameplay. And I just had the best time to build a nursery and kids' rooms. It's like so cute. All the new objects. I already really enjoyed it for my last build, but I just had so much fun building this. Also, in case you've missed it, a shameless plug just really quickly. I've recently released my very first Sims 4 CC set. It's available on Patreon. It's in early access. It goes public on March 29. Thank you for all of your support. I appreciate it so much. And you can just grab it for free on March 29. So if you want to check it out, if you want to support me, you can find the Patreon link in the description. Thank you. And there will be a second one, like very soon, just so you know. Okay, so here I'm working on the garden, and you can see that there's this flower bed type of object. It's from Debug. It's also from Growing Together, and I've used it in different areas. I think it's super amazing. If you want to landscape, you can place some trees in there, and it's like you can just grab it from Debug and you have a complete flower bed. You could create something similar yourself using rocks, but it's amazing that this object is in Debug. I'm really obsessed. All the other rocks are also from Debug. I just wanted to have this really beautiful, almost overgrown flower bed, so it looks very natural. As I said, there was like a point where I added the trees where I've noticed that the whole color combination looks so cool and dreamy because of all the green, because of all the trees. So I just wanted to have this type of vibe. I didn't want the flower bed to be too neat or nice. And this area here where I've placed the wooden floor is like an area to hang out, having a barbecue. You can chill at the pool. I'm going to build a bar, a hot tub, this type of stuff. And this is kind of the fenced off area, including the pool. And the pool has a very unique shape. It's like super long and slim. I just wanted to have this type of design. You sometimes see it in like hyper modern mansions, so it's not like a regular pool. And I've also used a black wallpaper and floor in the pool, like for all of them, also the one in the front, which is supposed to be a fountain. And yeah, this area is completely fenced off, and then there will be another area where the kids can just enjoy the garden and all that. This is the level above the living room and kitchen, everything. So I'm going to build some bathrooms and also bedrooms here. So I'm just trying to figure out the floor plan, but I made some changes to this later. Sometimes it can be super difficult to squeeze in enough bedrooms. You don't want them to be too small, but you also want to squeeze in enough. So the one, like the build that I've released on Saturday is like a bigger. I think it had 6 bedrooms. I think that this one has 4, but it's still like a nice family home. It's just like a little smaller, so the focus here is more like on the whole vibe and design, and it's for a smaller sim family compared to my last one. And this here is the living room, and when you look at the house from the front, it's the room on the right side at the bottom. There are windows going all around it, so this room is very bright, sun flooded. I did not use any curtains. I only added some curtains to the bedrooms. the ones from the Desert Lux kit. But here for this area, I just wanted it to be very open, so it feels like all these rooms are almost like connected to the outside. It's like really amazing. You can enjoy the view and the garden, and I just love how open and sun flooded these areas are. All these objects, are almost all of them, are from the new pack. The shelf that you can see that I've used as a room divider is from Eco Lifestyle actually, but all the other objects, are most of them, are from the pack. I mean, there are like some plants here and there and stuff, but like a lot of these objects are actually from the pack. And then this area I've just turned into a really small office space, so the Sims can use the computer and everything. And I just love the whole vibe and design. I love all the different levels, and the platforms are like really amazing here in this build. Like sometimes they annoy me, but here I had so much fun to use them actually. This is the kitchen, so this is like when you look at the house from the front, once again, it's like on the very left of the house, and I just had enough wall space to turn this into a kitchen because of the cabinets and everything. Like, it can be really hard to find a decent spot for a kitchen in a house like this when you are using so many windows. So there are windows going all around the build, and you have no idea where you could place some cabinets and stuff, so this was just the perfect spot. And then we have like the stairs in between the kitchen and the dining room area, and behind this wall here will be the part of the garden which is for the kids. So it's like really connected, really open, and this is the dining room area. As I've said, the stairs kind of separate kitchen and dining room area. I've used so many of these frames so you can just fill them, so your Sims take photos and you like create your own memories. So I left them empty because as I said in my last build, it wouldn't make sense for me to like create all these photos and it's like a random Sim family. It's like you want to fill them, so it's like your Sim family's memories. But I've placed lots of these empty frames everywhere, and they look so cool and beautiful. After all, it's a family home, so I totally wanted to add this like really personal element in different areas. And this here is like the area right in front of the indoor fountain. I've just used the sectional sofas from Dream Home Decorator to fill this corner nicely. I've used the new ceiling lamp from the pack everywhere. I'm so obsessed. I mean, for my last build, it wasn't like the perfect match. I still used it, but here for this type of style, it's like a perfect match. It's like really modern. It's gigantic. It's perfect for this type of style and vibe, in my opinion. Oh, and here at this point, I'm working on the garden, and this is the area for the kids. I found this little gazebo thingy, and I've placed the blanket from the little campus kit below, so the Sims can just kind of sit in this area, and they have some like shade when it's hot on the outside. I've also placed monkey bars, a swing set. Also, I've placed this mushroom water emitter in the garden. So it's like a small water park in San Sequoia, and you can use these objects in your own build. So it's like a shower, and kids can like in the summer play in the water and stuff, like a water park type of thing. And it's like so cute. And I've placed this object in the garden as well, so there are like different activities. And I mean, I fenced off the pool, so I at least wanted to include one water activity when it's like hot in the summer. And also this little slide, and here you just saw the little mushroom water emitter. And yeah, just so many things, so your kids, just some kids, can have like a great time in there. And this here is the bathroom, which is located at the bottom of the house right next to the dining area. And I wanted to have a walk-in shower, also a bathtub, the changing table, so all kinds of different things, so your Sims have everything they need. I've included changing tables in like some of the kids' rooms, but I also wanted to include one because, just as for my last build, when your Sims are in this area of the house far away from the bedrooms, they still like need a changing table, so I've included them in the different bathrooms, so there are enough changing tables available everywhere. And I just wanted to have this really dark type of style for the bathrooms because of the color choices that I made for the exterior. but I just wanted to have some golden details and stuff, so the color scheme is like pretty similar for all the rooms. But for the bedrooms, as you will here see, I've chosen different colors. Like this is the nursery, for example. It's like pastel pink and so cute, and I've used these curtains in there, so there's like some privacy and protection from the sun, because there's like, it's like a glass cube, like the whole house is like a gigantic glass cube or something, so I just wanted to include some curtains there. And I've also used the canopy of light from high school years above the bed, so it's like illuminated and very cozy, so you could like turn off the light at night, but you only leave the canopy on, or like just some of these little lights that I've included, so it's like really cozy and all of that. I've also included the high chair, just all kinds of different things, and it's like so cute and cozy. I'm just so obsessed with all the new objects. It's like so much fun to work on a proper nursery. Of course, we could like always do that using the baby crib and all that, but now that we got the changing table and that the infants are like functioning babies and all that, like as everyone always said, free the babies, like now that it has happened and the babies are free and we got the update, I feel like it's so much fun to actually build a proper functional nursery. I enjoy it so much. This here is the master bedroom. So just like the parents' bedroom. I've also included a small crib in there, so like for a small baby and everything. And the color scheme is like once again very similar to the whole exterior. And I feel like the color scheme in general, like all these really warm wooden tones and this type of contrast is like really a part of the pack. A lot of the objects have like this type of default color, and you can like easily get this type of vibe using the pack. I also feel like Eco Lifestyle had similar objects, like similar colors, and I guess you could like combine these two packs really easily. This is another bedroom, so I wanted to like have this wooden wallpaper in some areas still for the bedrooms, but I've then like only painted some of the walls in a different color, so it's like really colorful and like a typical kids room. But I also wanted to embrace this amazing wood paneling because I just love the vibe, and this way it's all cohesive and the interior matches with the exterior. And again, there are windows going all around it, but I've just placed the desk right in front of the window. I've used this corner to place some toys over there, so it kind of worked, even though it's always super difficult for me to furnish a room where I only have like windows going all around it on one wall, but it worked. And this is another room. So this room is at the very top, so when you look at the build from the outside, there's like one single room at the top, and I mean there's also a hallway and a small bathroom, but like this is mainly one bedroom. And it's kind of separated from the rest of the house, and I turned this into a teenager room. I've mainly used objects from high school years for this, because high school years had this huge focus on teenagers, and it's just the perfect pack to furnish a teenager's room. So I've mainly used objects from high school years here, but also like some objects from the new pack. So this is like a teenager room. It's like far away from all the other bedrooms, so it's like a own separated safe space up there, and it doesn't matter if the music is too loud, no one is annoyed because the room is kind of far away from everyone. So I figured it would make sense to turn this into a room for a teenager. I mean, you don't want to have your nursery up there separated from like everyone, and yeah, this is why I did it this way, and I think it turned out really cute. And after working on this room, I've decided to add a driveway. They lowered the path in front of the house a bit, so you could easily connect a driveway. I added the driveway in a different area, but I still wanted to add a driveway because it's such a cool detail. And I've used these debug rocks from the pack that I've also used for the garden to just have this type of driveway. The cars from the base game, it can be found in debug, so this is just purely decorative, but I eventually decided to place some bikes right behind the car. So this kind of makes it functional. So the car is kind of the decorative piece, but it's like a nice spot to place some bikes so your Sims can just grab them. And I think you can now teach your kid to ride a bike and everything, so it all makes sense. So I've eventually just placed some additional bikes right behind the car, so it is functional. And yeah, this is it. You can here see lots of screenshots. This build is available in the gallery. It's CC-free and unmodded. My ID is KateEmerald, so you can just grab it from the gallery. You can also grab the tray fat from my Patreon, and you can also grab my brand new CC set from my Patreon. It's in early access until March 29th. And speaking of which, it's time to thank my wonderful Emerald Patreons and my Emerald YouTube members. A big thank you to Mehmet Ali Baris Khan, Andrew Hill, Asia, Destiny Wilkins, Elizabeth, Ina Richter, Jay, Dia, Karen Hames, Laplace, Mango Mango, Mr. Josh, Panic at the 21 Imagine Chemical Army, Papa Wolfie, Phoenix Whitman, Sarah Williams, Shannon McClam, Simbala Goss, Stephanie Mead, Stephen, Tarika Cox, and Barbara Moore. Thank you so much for your gigantic support. A big thank you to all my other Patreons and YouTube members. Thank you for anyone who's watching, who's just here and supporting me by watching and commenting and all that. Thank you so much for being here and for being awesome. I love you all so much. I hope you will have a perfect day, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye.